Welcome to the Jezebelle Trinity podcast. And I am your host, Trinity Stella. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And happy Thursday. Thursday. We are doing great. Keep pushing forward, keep moving forward, keep doing do you. All right. So tonight I was thinking today about how why is it so why is it easier to not say the things we want to say? Why is it easier to stay quiet, to stay comfortable, to keep other people comfortable, to worry about what other people are going to think if we say something, say our truth, own our truth? So why is it hard to say what we need to say is the topic for tonight's discussion. And feel free to join the link. The link is there. Copy, paste, join. Come on, share your thoughts on why you stay quiet or why is it so hard to speak your truth. Easier said than done, I know that. So, silence versus truth. Let's see. So I can think of many times where I stayed quiet when I should have spoken up and didn't feel real good afterward. Kind of turned into almost guilt. Turned into guilt, which keeping that guilt for so long turns into shame if I don't release that somehow. So, for example, I went for a job interview and went in and I was excited to work there. And when they offered me my wage, I was very disappointed, but I didn't say anything. I was like, okay, maybe that's what they're starting everybody off at, or that's fine, So I took the job, accepted it, and worked for a couple weeks and realized somebody was making more than I was, a few dollars more, like $3 more. So I was very hurt, disappointed, and angry when if I would have said something in the first place, I either would have gotten what I wanted and set a boundary to let them know that I will not make anything less than this amount of money. And we could have cut ties then, but I didn't say anything. And so I ended up, I learned some things at the job. Maybe I look at it as like I was supposed to be there and work for them, learn a few things anyways. But it still bothered me that I didn't say anything in the beginning, stick up for myself. And let's see, there were other times when I have spoken up, and I think those of you who know me know that I know how to speak up when it counts. And you ever notice too when you do speak up, you give others the green light to do it too? Like then they start speaking up. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me for 1 second. I'm back. Just needed a water. Sorry, I wasn't ready for my water. So, why do we stay silent? Why do you stay silent? Is it because of fear of rejection, conflict, or you feel like you're going to be judged for what you express? The false comfort of silence, keeping the peace is sacrificing your own peace to keep others comfortable, shrinking yourself for other people's comfort. So the hidden cost of keeping silent is regret, regret, resentment, and self-betrayal. Because you sit there and you're like, man, I should have said this. I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have spoke up. And then it turns into regret, which turns into guilt and shame. And those things, it's easier, like I said, it's easier said than done to say that we should speak our truth. But it takes practice. All these new tools take practice. And turning that fear, that fear of rejection, that fear of conflict, that fear of judgment into courage is is how you alchemize your feelings of those feelings and turn those old tools into your new tools. Alchemy. You're an alchemist if you can do this. You know, like I said, it's like a muscle too. You know, the more you practice, the easier it gets. You can do bigger truths. For instance, say, let me see, I had something. Imagine someone at work who always agrees to work extra tasks even when they're already overwhelmed. They're afraid of letting people down, so they stay silent and carry the load. One day, finally, speak a small truth. I can't take this right now. Then their heart pounds, their palms sweat, but they survive it. The world doesn't end. The one truth shows them they're capable of standing up for themselves. Later, when a bigger truth shows up, like telling their partner, I don't feel heard in this relationship, they've already practiced using their voice. They've trained their courage in smaller moments. They have the strength to face something heavier. So that's the practice, is practicing, and also is becoming aware of when you're at that threshold, you know, when your palms are sweaty, when you start to get anxious, when your anxiety, you know, it's going to overwhelm you or it feels overwhelming, is becoming aware of that threshold right when you're at the threshold of turning fear into courage and passing through it. How courage doesn't replace the fear. Know that it doesn't replace the fear, it walks beside it. Owning your voice is an act of healing, because for my example, I feel like I speaking my truth in the community I came from was frowned upon. We, you know, and if you didn't follow what everybody else was saying, fear of retaliation, fear of vengeance, like I said, being retaliated against, so keeping quiet, you know, and that brings me to leadership, leading with fear and cruelty. And 15-20 years of that, I'm just now starting to get my footings back and my voice back. And I hope that showing you guys that I can speak truthfully, speak my truth, will give you the courage, show you the steps, the process of not being afraid of running through that fear and grasping that courage. You know, like the Wizard of Oz and the lion finding his courage. I love that show. So, and healing your voice, healing your fear, and alchemizing that fear as into courage is a healing, and it's a ripple effect. Speaking truth frees us from silence and leads to self-healing. Others witness your courage and find their own voice. Truth telling is contagious. When you lead, others will follow. Be the leader. Be the speaker, the voice. You know, and I see you guys out there. I see it happening, and I'm so very proud of you all. You know, the few of you that are standing up for yourselves again and finding your courage, finding who you are, who your identity is, and not being afraid to become who you were meant to be. You know, and realizing that a lot of things are wrong, a lot of things are backwards, and finding your truth and standing up for yourself again after coming through the trenches. I'm so freaking proud of you guys. You know, we're doing it. We are doing this. We're healing, and we're showing our young ones that we can do it too. We're showing them strength, and that's another benefit is when you are at that threshold of fear, of at that point of letting your anxiety take over, or just saying it. Your young ones are watching you do it. Your children are watching you do it, and you're showing them how to do it. You're leading by the example that we need to lead for our kids, and showing them that their voice matters by showing them that your voice matters. So your voice can be the spark that lights someone else's courage. What truths have you been holding back that could inspire others if spoken out loud? So I had a couple questions that I wanted to leave you with, to ponder on, to think about, or quotes. Every time you speak your truth, you give someone else permission to speak theirs. Fear is not the enemy of courage. It's the proof you're standing at the threshold of it. You're right there. Are you going to drown? Are you going to swim harder and through it? Are you going to burn up? Are you going to rise from the ashes? Your voice can become the bridge others walk across to find their own power. And when you start taking your voice back and speaking your truth and speaking for what you know in your heart, in your gut is right, you're owning your power, you're owning your truth, you're standing in it, and that's how we do it. We do it together. And I will stand by you always. But I felt like I wanted to talk about that tonight because I was wondering why it was so important to speak up, to not stay silent. And so I started reflecting on my past and the times that I could have spoken up. And I will tell you, it's like pushing yourself out of that comfort zone, and I thought I would never sing karaoke unless I was drinking at the bar. So while I was locked up, they had a karaoke sign up, and nobody was signing up. They were all signing up to go listen. If you wanted to go listen, you had to sign up on this side, and if you wanted to sing, you could sign up on that side. And there was just something in me to say, do it. Who cares what anybody thinks? You'll probably never see them, and once you get up there, they'll just be having fun. How you would be in the audience watching somebody else. And I knew that if I didn't sign up for it, I'd regret it. I'd be like, why didn't I do it? Why didn't I do it? So a week or two before they were gonna pull it down, I put my name. Actually, I think it was maybe a few days. I put my name on the singing list, and I didn't know what song I was gonna sing. I just knew I was gonna get up there and give her my all. So I signed my name up there. I'm freaking out, and I think a day before the actual event happened, I knew what song I was gonna sing, and it was "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey. So the day came, and you had all the ladies out there, and the whole floor, and there was probably maybe 5 of us, 6 of us, and we got up there and we sang our voices, our hearts out, and we had the whole crowd just clapping for us and singing along with us, and it was great, and it was something awesome and amazing that right now I'm so glad that I can talk about it and say that yes, I did it. nobody was up there talking shit about it, saying, "Oh, look at her, she can't sing." Just all those things you tell in your head before you're scared to do something. What are people gonna think? They're gonna say I suck, but it's karaoke. Who's gonna judge you? And they're out there in a crowd, so they know they can't judge you. But yeah, so I sang my heart out, and it was awesome, and I'm so glad I did it. So it's in those moments, pushing yourself to do something that you never thought you'd do, to become the better version of yourself, of who you used to be. Scared and worried what people will think. But we only have this one life. Have one life, and live it to your best, live it to the fullest, and be truth. Stand in that truth, own it. That's your own truth, and nobody can tell you differently except Creator. All right, guys. Good night. Good night. Good night. I wish you a very good rest of the week. Actually, I think, yes. Nope, I'll be on early tomorrow. I keep saying I'm going to set my schedule, but I will work on that right now. So, all right, guys. I love you all. Peace, love, and 100% respect. And we are the ones we've been waiting for, because we have that strength and will to cross over that threshold, to grasp that courage and make the shift for our kids, so that they can take over the lead. It's a rippling effect, and we are the ones we've been waiting for. And I see you, and thank you for Miigwech for seeing me. Appreciate you. And be kind, be respectful, show compassion, because we're all going through something. And who knows why we choose and make the decisions we do, except you and the most high, Creator, higher power, whatever ever you believe in. That's between you and him, or they, or them, whatever you believe in. But I love you. Gigwabamin, that means see you later in Ojibwe, because we do not say goodbye. Gigwabamin, I love you guys. Miigwech for walking with me tonight. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon sometime. I'll have it up.